Hey everyone, Solid Zero here, and this is your Resident Evil Solid Review. Resident Evil was released in America in March of 1996, and we were just swept away by this new genre of storytelling in video game format. The survival horror genre of games that the series is known for still continues today, with numerous numbered titles, spin-offs, HD remasters, and complete remakes of their original games. But the biggest question is, are these remakes and remasters actually any good in comparison to the original titles that they're based on? This is what we are here to help you decide, if the original is better, or if the remake is better. Starting off our series is going to be the original game that started the entire Resident Evil franchise, Resident Evil Director's Cut for the PlayStation 1. In this game, you get your choice of playing as either Chris Redfield or Jill Valentine, STAR's Alpha team members sent on a trip to the Arklay Mountains to solve some weird murders in the area. After fighting monsters, zombies, mutant dogs, fish, spiders, and even giant plants, they make their way through a mansion and a laboratory to find out that they were betrayed and then have to fight a big boss guy named Tyrant. After exploding him with a rocket, they fly to safety in a helicopter, hoping the nightmare of that place is behind them. That's enough story. Time for critique. It's a 90s video game with 90s live actors playing the parts, and the biggest issue is, it's 90s acting.
Joseph!
No! Don't go! Wow, what a mansion!
Captain Wesker, where's Chris?
Barry, where's Barry?
Stop it! Don't open that door! Stay alert!
What is that?
I'll go and check.
Such a horrible mess that by today's standards would be laughed at as something that should be left in the adult industry, with how forced some of these scenes are. This kind of voice acting would not hold up at all in today's market, even for bad anime videos or crappy YouTubers, yours truly included. During my gameplay, I played as Chris for the original PlayStation, and many times I would be interacting with the NPC Rebecca Chambers.
What? Oh! Oh no! Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
You must be from the Bravo team.
Yes, I'm Rebecca. Rebecca Chambers.
This scene alone makes her sound like a 90s stereotype instead of a rookie medic for a special operations police group. With that said though, many times I also didn't feel that Chris's line deliveries weren't that much better.
I see.
Yep.
There's nothing else you could have done anyway. It's good you're here.
I couldn't pick out what mood Chris was in any of his interactions. They felt like I was watching the same lines delivered over and over and over and over and over and over. Sorry. Words may be different, but the lines all felt the same. All of them delivered with the same tone throughout the whole game. I really hope those guys have gotten better in the last 20 years since this game. Oh. I'm very sorry. Well, most likely, the voice acting was more director's fault than the actors, as it is up to said person to help guide them to the view of how it is supposed to come out. But that's enough about the acting. How did the game perform after over 20 years later? Well, it performed excellently. Honestly, the game was still amazing to play, even after all this time. The pacing was good, and the difficulty was, well, it wasn't that high-ish.
There it was. There it was.
Oh, damn it! Oh, no! Okay, it is still difficult. So much so I had to complete the game under easy mode just to get the footage needed for this very review. The controls for the game still performed very well for the time frame of the game, as the tank controls for it were well designed and added an extra layer of difficulty to it. The music and ambient sounds that came with it were also well done, with the exception of a few weird parts. Very weird parts. Plus a few gripes I had about little things, like the 3-minute timer that didn't stop when I had no control of my character, even though it was there to add a sense of urgency to the game, or how the map was hardly interactive. However, with the technology available in 1996, it isn't a bad game at all, and many of the qualities that made it difficult in the first place were improved upon in later games, like in Resident Evil 3, which allowed the quick turn system, or the ability to upgrade weapons in Resident Evil 2 to add more depth to a game. The original game itself set a big precedence for the future of games in the series, except one: Resident Evil 6. Everyone hates Resident Evil 6. It turned a series that was about survival horror to a survival shooter with 4 separate campaigns. Overall, the game is still amazing today, and my recommendation is, if you get the chance to, play it. It's awesome and lots of fun, with the exception of a few areas. I never really felt like my deaths or setbacks were because of the game, but my own faults. And if you didn't do something correctly, it felt like it was your fault, not the game itself. Like if you forgot an item or a key back in the item box, you were forced to run back to it just to get it and combine it with something, or set it into something, or set it into a spot of where it's supposed to go. So, good job, Capcom, on your old school game. Now, how does the remaster fare? Fast forward to 2002, only 6 years and a few technological leaps later, the GameCube, developed by Nintendo, released the remaster of Resident Evil with updated graphics, music, gameplay, and so much more. Let's start with the graphics. The hardware on the GameCube was far more powerful than that of the original PlayStation. It was placed within the 6th generation of game consoles, whereas the PlayStation was only in the 5th. For reference, the Nintendo was only the 3rd generation. But generations aside, we have an amazing technological leap in graphics alone, showing better details and movements of the remaster. Heck, you can see lips moving.
See if you can find any other clues. I'll be examining this. Let's just hope it's not Chris's.
See? See? But I digress. It's obvious about the graphics that they had improved, but they even improved the sound of the game. Little things that were taken for granted, like thunder and lightning flashes that happen in the main foyer of the mansion, are amazing little touches. Even the zombie and hunter sounds are improved in comparison. And the music in many areas was changed so much and so well. Remember that scene with the zombie entering the kitchen? Yeah, that one. Well, here it is in the remaster. So much better. Mwah! And that's not all. Even the laboratory had an upgrade of music and ambient noise. The whole game just sounds so good. And looks much better with the new generation of console. Now, for the gameplay. The gameplay and feel of the game has also improved. Remember when I spoke about Resident Evil 3 and how it introduced the quick turn mechanic? They brought that back into this game too. And with the new control scheme of the GameCube controller having the joystick, it allowed seamless movement around the game. However, I did not play this game on a GameCube. I played it on PC, on Steam. and I used my PS4 controller that was connected to it. And that presented its own problems with the game. The PC port and usability of the controllers, other than for the GameCube, apparently didn't transfer that well. If you were going in a direction before the camera shifted and still held it after the camera angle changed, you kept going in that direction. But if you changed to go the direction you were supposed to go by moving the joystick in that direction, well, let's just say it works it out. And as a result,
Blast this camera!
yeah, I got killed one time from it. However, the rest of the controls work flawlessly. And the story was vastly improved as well as the voice acting. It's like putting Joss Whedon's Justice League up against Zack Snyder's. That's right. I said it. Zack Snyder's was better. A holding cell.
What is this
In a
place?
laboratory.
Not quite your ordinary house, that's for sure.
Hey, Whisker, where's Chris?
See, the acting is so much better here, and it doesn't make me cringe every time I hear it. Plus, they added to story in some areas, like adding Lisa Trevor as a roaming boss in some parts of the game, adding dialogue in some areas, and in others, changing it. By far better in terms of difference by adding flavor and depth to an already amazing game. With that being said, there isn't much more to say. The remaster was definitely better than the original in all aspects of gaming. They improved the game without losing the original premise or direction they wanted the franchise to go. With the improved acting, gameplay, and story alone, it's earned its right in the Hall of Masterpieces. And so, without further ado, I bestow this remaster the Gold Shield. And rate it 5 out of 5 stars. Next month, we're going to cover Resident Evil 2, both the original and the remake. And I am really excited about this one because I played Resident Evil 2 for hours when I was younger. And I cannot wait to share it with all of you. So, join us on Twitch on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Arizona time for more fun and games. And also, come join us on Discord. The link's below. And if you like what I do here and would like to support this channel, drop a like. And don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell icon to stay up to date when we release our videos here every month. With that said, everyone, this is Solid Zero signing off. We'll see you next time. Later!